to Kids True Crime. Pulling up, hit and go. It's showtime. Hey, hey. Chat squad rolling in line. Best crew on the screen, that's the headline. We pull up to the scene, Mr. calling out each detail. Real clean, Patty said, just judging the fee. Running double dropping theories at top speed. Caroline Cooper in caps lock. Rachel from Mars with the straight talk. Angel in the back with the side eye. We ride or die in the live, let the time fly. Welcome to Kids True Crime. True Crime. We got push people talking in real time. Real time. We got trolls in the corner, we don't mind. Hit them with a one-liner, fill up from behind. Best community on this whole site. We laugh, we roast, but we hold tight. Get a little coffee, that's what we're here for. Bad ass fight, yeah. Up, push and score. Bad ass fight, yeah. 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 Like this, like, yeah. Melissa in the bushes on patrol, putting out the fires when the rumors roll. Flames toddler in the back, all jokes. Inside last of the day one's folk. Feel the chatter climbing up the chat wall. Names flying fast, can't catch them all. From the first bell ring to the last word said. We beans, tease, pieces till it's time for bed. Welcome to Kids True Crime. True Crime. We got push people talking in real time. Real time. We got trolls in the corner, we don't mind. Hit them with a one-line, fall from behind. Best community on this whole site. We laugh, we roast, but we hold tight. Get a little pocket, that's what we're here for. Like, as, like, yeah. I'm blast with score. Like, as, like, yeah. 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 Like, as, like, yeah. Drop a heart in the chat for the day ones. Drop a flame for the late night reruns. If you know, then you know that's the code word. Kit says what she thinks every quote heard. We stay loud, stay proud when the stream's on. Same fam, same clan when the cam's gone. One click, one link, and we're back at the door to the badass softcore lore. Welcome to Kids True Crime. True Crime. We got push people talking in real time. Real time. We got trolls in the corner, we don't mind. Hit them with a one-line, fall from behind. Best community on this whole side. We laugh, we roast, but we hold tight. Get a little cookie, that's what we're here for. Bad as bud, yeah. Ash low floor. Bad as bud, yeah. 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 Bad as bud, yeah.
What is good, my people? What is up? I am. Hello, Rhonda. How you doing? Thank you, Melissa from the bushes. Thank you for being with me for 4 months. Hi from the bushes. We're getting rain to help with the fires. Good. Good. You got help with those bush fires. Hello, Carol Cooper. Amber, hey girl. Hey, hey. Patty, how you doing? Don't forget, fire in the chat. Fire in the chat. Okay? Fire in the chat. Hey, how are you? How are you, Bird Dog? It's been a while, people. Do you see what's going on with me, people? Do you guys see what's going on with me? Every time I have therapy, okay, I'm all messed up for days after. It sucks, okay? Feelings suck. Look at that precious baby girl on my screen. Look at her. She's beautiful. She will never be forgotten. She will never, ever, 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 ever be out of my mind. Ever. All right. So let's take my beautiful daughter down here. Sorry, I had to take a drink of my Propel. Hold on. Ta-da! Is everybody here? Can you guys hear me? Let me check my phone. Hello? Is everybody here? Oh, yeah. Just nobody's talking to me. I see how it is. I see how you all are. Okay. Hold on a minute. I gotta bring something else up here. Indictment, grand jury. Okay, and I'm gonna say this before I, let's see, motion for, okay. So, Propel, yes, yes. Present, front and center. I can hear you. I was listening. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, good. Okay, pay attention. Now, oh, let me put her on the screen. Sorry, let me put that Anna on the screen. You guys know who Anna Kepner is? Anybody? This is who we're talking about today. Actually, we're talking about her stepbrother, Timmy. Okay? That's what we're going to do. This little girl here, well, she's 18. She needs justice, and her little demoness stepbrother is being charged with their murder. However, he's going to be charged. He's being charged as an adult, through the federal government, which he should be. Okay, for what he did to her. So what's going on right now? The federal government. Okay, I pay for these documents, by the way, so that's why they're watermarked. Well, sometimes they don't watermark them though, just because I don't know. These ones are watermarked because I pay for them on Pacer, but we're going to go over the indictment with the grand jury, and then the federal government wants him locked up right now. Mm-hmm. She was the girl that was on that cruise, right, with her family. Okay. Oh, let me get that picture up here. With her family. And why would you have them in a room together? Okay, every family is dysfunctional, but let me tell you, there's some weirdness with this family. Hold on a minute. I mean, did they check on anybody? Oh, where's that picture? Come on now. Why isn't it letting me? Give me a minute, guys. Okay. Maybe this is why. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Yep, that's why. That's why. This is sad. All right. Pictures. There we go. All right. So here they are on the cruise, right? I had no idea that the grandparents were on this cruise also. What was everybody doing? Why weren't they keeping an eye? And why would you have an 18-year-old in with the 16-year-old? She should have had her own room. With their little sisters. Wonderful. No, she don't. Her stepmom, she's a joke. Don't forget to hit that. Like, that's right. Hit it, people. Now, let me tell you something. And I don't know why her mom wasn't in her life, but let me tell you something. I'm going to show some interviews with her mom. And it's really sad because the dad didn't let the mom see the daughter for whatever reason, but that's her mom. And, but let's get into this little schmurder. Timothy. That's what we're going to do. Ooh. Who cares? I'm going to go right here. All right. Which one's this? What's this? See, they do TH because he's a minor, but he's being charged as an adult, so his name is Timothy. We all know. All right, so this is March 10th. Superseding indictment. Here we go. The grand jury, count one. On or about November 6, 2025, within the special maritime and oh my God, territorial jurisdiction, oh my God, I cannot say it, of the United States upon the high seas and jurisdiction of any particular state or district within Miami-Dade County, in the Southern District of Florida being the district in which the offender was arrested. The defendant, Timothy, did and knowingly, unlawfully perpetrate and attempt to perpetrate a murder that is, one, the willful, deliberate, malice, premeditated unaliving of Anna with malice, aforethought, and number two, the unlawful killing of Anna during the preparation or sorry guys, I'm looking at something, or attempt to perpetrate an aggravated sex abuse in violation. Count two, aggravated sexual abuse on or about November 6th within special marine time. Oh, we're not going to go through this. We knew it was in the waters. Okay, so federal ended up taking it. True crime, that name, don't wear it out. Oh, okay. Sorry. I shouldn't even be looking at the chat. Sorry. Okay, Timothy did knowingly cause an attempt to cause a person, Anna, to engage in an act, act, that is by causing contact with his private, to her private, penetrating Anna with his private, and did so by force against Anna. I mean, come on, that was a no-brainer. That was a no-brainer. All right, so he's looking at life in prison, and then after released, 5 years probation. Same with count two. What else? This case will take 7 days. Judge Bloom. Let's see. What do you guys think? I gotta take a drink. Hold on. Yeah, he needs to be punished for what he did. That's what's up. That's what's up. I don't know, because like you see people, they get 7 years for 3 different charges within that case, and they only do the 7 years, not 21. Yes, Propel. Guess what? Guess what's going on though? Guess what? I know. Creepy little thing. We're gonna watch him in a minute, but let's just go to this document right here. This was the newest filing on Pacer. So the United States government against Timothy wants to motion for review, revocation of order of release pursuant to Bail Reform Act. So what they want to do, the United States, undersigned Assistant United States Attorney hereby files a instant motion as to Timothy in respect respectively request a review of revocation. Where am I? Order of release previously entered in this matter. Then it goes through all that. It's talking about all this juvenile stuff. But no, you're being charged as an adult. That's what that's what happens. Let's see. The United States respectfully submits the order of release should be reviewed and revoked. Once this matter transferred to adult prosecution, the JDA no longer applied an adult status. The defendant's detention or release should now be reviewed through the lens of the Bail Reform Act. And as more fully explained below, under the Bail Reform Act, the defendant is a danger to others and should be held in pre-trial detention. Alternatively, the transfer to adult status is a change in circumstances that recommends a revocation of release order. In support of this motion, the United States avers as follows. Hold on a minute, guys. Hold on. Stay with me, people. Stay with me, people. All right, here we go. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. Factual background. On or about November 7th, Anna, 18-year-old female, was found deceased in a cabin she shared with her stepbrother, Tammy Thate. Okay. The Carnival Cruise Line ship, Horizon of the Seas. Stay out of that ship, people. Stay out of that. Yes. While on the ship, on the high seas route to Miami, Florida, subsequent investigation of Anna's death resulted in instant prosecution against Timothy. Let's see. United States Attorney, South District, first filed an information February 2nd, 2026, making allegations against the defendant. 1, murder in the first degree. Another count, aggravated sexual abuse. On February 3rd, 2026, the defendant surrendered himself to the United States Attorney's Office in Miami, Florida, and was officially arrested. On that same day, the defendant had his initial appearance on the information before Judge Torres and pled not guilty to the allegations contained in the information. The defendant has also demanded discovery. Okay? Footnote. While the JDA does not discuss discovery, the government, anticipation of the request to transfer the matter to adult prosecution and to afford the defendant due process, agreed to the entrance of the standard discovery order. Therefore, on February 19th, 2026, the government provided its first response to the standard discovery order to defense counsel, which included Rule 16. What is that? What's Rule 16? GALO information of all existing FBI reports, Sentinel, additional advanced generic material was not previously provided on February 4th, 2026, before the JDA detention hearing. The government also provided second and third responses to the standing discovery with additional material. You know what? I'm going to have to get it all, people. I'm going to have to get it all, ain't I? I'm going to have to get it all. Additionally, let me come into chat a minute. Make sure everything's cool. Rapper, how are you? Are you doing better? I hope so. You have? Oh my God, I wish. I've never been on vacation. I don't even know what a vacation is, people. You know what? But I'm going to make damn sure I go on vacation this year. I'm going to save my money for a ticket, and I'm going to figure out where I'm going to go. I'm just going to go. I thought about it because I'm trying to do this therapy, right? I have done nothing for me. Okay. Um, I haven't dealt with my mother's death, I guess. I haven't got to, right? And then my daughter dies, right? Um, but yeah, I'm working through these things and it sucks. And they're having me go through grief therapy, trauma therapy, and it's a little overwhelming, people. What I need a vacation. Not on no cruise ship though. Hell no, how scary. What? Who had a heart attack? I know you blocked my main, but it is what it is. Yep, yep. Um, you can't be mean to people. You can't be rude like you were. That no, you can't do that. I'm sorry. We can't have that. But I hope you're better. All right. Let's continue. Let's continue. Additionally, on February 6th, the detention hearing was held. Okay. And it talks about pursuant, all these codes. Upon the government's request, the defendant be detained for dangerousness. That's interesting. They say that. The GDA detention hearing, the defendant requested the magistrate court also conduct a probable cause hearing. After the JDA detention hearing, Judge Torres found that there's probable cause for the alleged charges, but denied the government's request for detention. Why? Why? So this kid can go and abuse her? You know what, people? I don't know. Yes, fire in the chat. People, there's some videos going out there, and I don't know if it's real or not, of allegedly of Anna running away from him. I don't know if I want to show it because I don't know if it's real. Has anybody seen that? Oh my God, there's only 2 people here. Where the hell did all you people go? Why did you leave me? Fire in the chat. That's right. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Look at the fire in the chat. Look at my bitches. Look at my bitches. Look at my bitches. All right. Wow, YouTube. Something's wrong on YouTube. It shows I only got 2 people here. No, I don't. I got a whole chat full of my people. StreamYard, get it together. All right, here we go. Now, if he can't, obviously the way he took her life, okay, it was up close and personal, okay. Of course, long crime's good. They are good. I just barely can get through this shit with my reading. We know that. We know that though. Okay, but it's okay. Okay, let's finish. Oh, this is a lot of pages. I want to go to him being on the stand. Hold on. The court released the defendant to the custody of a family member with various conditions. His uncle. And entered the instant release order at the JDA detention hearing. Why should he be able to walk around and enjoy life? Judge Torres also stated that the government could ask to revisit the defendant's release status should the court transfer this matter to adult status protection. Now, let's look at this. This is the newest one. This was April 13th. So hopefully we'll hear something soon. Where am I? I'm sorry. So we did that. I read that. On February 26, 2026, the court entered an order transferring this case to adult prosecution upon the government and written request. Pursuant to the transfer order, okay, here we go, filed certifications that the juvenile clerk of courts, Miami-Dade and Broward counties on March 10th, 2026. Okay, footnotes. I should have been reading them. Okay, there's a footnote there. Oh, here's the footnote for conditions. And here's another one. Shoot. Although the defendant argued at the JDA detention hearing that the JDA proceedings were not criminal in nature, and even the JDA did not provide the right and probable cause hearing, the government did not object to the magistrate courts deciding whether probable cause existed for the information. He killed his sister, his stepsister. He violated her. Okay? When you take somebody's life with your hands like that, dang. Okay, another footnote. As fully explained on page 1112 IMPRA, the defendant was not released on any type of bond. The magistrate courts released the defendant on a instant release order, which includes a series of conditions. Where is it? What are the conditions? Okay, you know what? We're going to stop this for a minute. I want you people to see who this kid is. Okay? Right? Right. Jesse Weber's awesome. We're going to watch him. Let's watch him. That's what we're going to do. We are going to watch. No, you're not looking at me. I don't feel like it. Maybe later. All right, let's watch him on the stand. This was a while ago, okay? But you know, let's looky 4 months ago.
Okay, thank you.
Look at that little demon. This is before, guys. Here we go.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure I wanted to vote.
Yes. So if there's any witnesses, you said, Mr. Molinari, that you have no witnesses here?
No, just Andrew Hudson and then Thomas Hudson. I thought it was witnesses.
Okay. And there's no other witnesses from you, Ms. Addison?
No,
Here?
they're outside.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Hudson, please raise your right hand.
I'm just gonna mute this just for a second here. This was 4 months ago, by the way. This was 4 months ago. So let's hear what the little liar says. I've never seen this, actually.
Swear or affirm that everything you tell the court is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Okay. I'm going to need you, sir, to speak loud into the microphone so I can hear you, okay? Okay, thanks. Mr. Molinari, you may proceed.
Will you state your name?
Andrew Hudson.
And Andrew, how old?
Oh, that's Andrew. Oh my God. Horrible. My bad. This is another brother?
18.
Holy shit.
October 4th.
What do they look like, huh?
This year.
October 4th, you said?
Yes, ma'am.
And Andrew, where do you live?
I with my dad.
And where is that?
In Ridge Manor, I believe.
What county is that?
Hernando.
And how long have you lived with your father?
About 2 years.
Has your father ever denied you access to your mother, Sean?
No.
The entire time that you've been, has he ever told you that you cannot speak with, communicate, visit, or see Chantel in any way, shape, or form?
No.
So, are you currently in school?
Yes.
Let's back up a little bit. There was a time when, obviously, your mother was married to Thomas. You know that?
Yes.
Obviously, you were alive during some of that time period.
Mhm.
Do you ever recall a time in which your father verbally, physically abused or assaulted?
Yeah, he lives with his dad, right? Not the mom. What's that mom's name again? And this here, my bad, this is not Timothy. This is his brother. He's 18. My bad, I got it wrong. Okay, I need to correct myself. Right? Right. Okay. Because this whole family situation, oh, I gotta bring that up. It's ugly. Very ugly. Do you know anything about text messages, Amber? I heard that's a big thing right now, but I didn't have time to look. So let's see what his brother has to say here. I don't think his brother. It sounds like, no. Am I right or wrong? Andrew lived with his dad. Timothy lived with his mom. Right? Oh God, I know. Oh my God, I know. I just couldn't, you guys. I was gonna do that case, but I got too sad. I got too sad because of the death of that baby. Okay, let's continue. I'm sorry.
Any of your siblings, either TH or BH?
No, sir.
You ever see a time when he was verbally or physically abusive to your mother or something?
No, sir.
Now, they got divorced, correct?
Yes.
And then as a result of the divorce, you had to do, like most normal kids do, you had to do everything. Not a great thing. Because it was just,
Yes.
And so roughly between 2022 and let's call it January 2024, did you in fact have regular visitation with your father in your name?
Yes.
And were your siblings, both BH and TH, were they present during these visitations?
Yes.
Was there ever a time that you witnessed either yourself or your siblings saying they did not want to visit with or spend time with your father?
No, sir.
Sure.
During the time, no.
Has there ever been any allegations of abuse, physical or otherwise, by your father of yourself or any of the children?
I'm aware of apparently a BB gun, someone getting shot with a BB gun, but other than that,
And then, so during that time period, was there ever a time in which either yourself or BH or TH said they did not want to spend time with your father?
no.
So I want to move a little bit forward to 2024, and you're in high school, right?
Yes.
And what year are you now?
I'm a senior year, 12th grade
And when are you going to graduate?
this year.
And how are you doing in school?
I'm doing good.
Going to graduate on time?
Yes, sir.
And do you have any plans for after school?
I plan on going to trade school to possibly get put on an oil rig out the Gulf.
And did you actually apply to trade school?
I've been looking around to see what trade schools are open to it.
And that's something you want to pursue after high school?
Yes, sir.
All right. So I want to take us back a little bit now to the spring of 2024 time frame. And was there an occasion in which your mother told you that she wanted to move to Titusville with both your two other siblings?
She said yes.
And what she said?
She said that she was going to move over there with those two and that I could finish out my senior year of high school over here.
So your mother specifically told you that you could spend the rest of your time, your high school time, here in your neighborhood?
Yes, sir.
Was that important?
Yes, sir.
Why was that important to you?
It's my senior year, and I knew everybody over here and all my family's over here, so I would.
What high school did you go to?
Hernando High School,
And those are people that you went to high school with for the entire time there?
my whole life.
And then, so did there come a time when you told your mother that you did not want to go to Brevard County or to Titusville with her?
I told her that I was thinking about staying over with my dad after I finished high school.
And how did your mother respond to that?
She said that this is what she was afraid of and that this is why she didn't want me staying over here.
So I want to fast forward to an incident on April 22nd, 2024. You remember roughly that day?
Yes.
So what happened on that day?
I was called up to the front office, and I originally didn't know what was going on, so I came up without my stuff. Realized my mom was there to pick me up, so I had to go back to my classroom and grab my stuff. And when I walked out to the car with them, they asked for me to give them my phone, and they powered off my phone and then told me.
Let me stop there for a second, just so I can break it down. So at the time that you were being called to, was it the principal's office or?
It was to the front office, the main office.
At the time that you were called, did your mother communicate to you at all, hey, the reason why that she was going to school?
No, sir.
Did you have any knowledge or idea that your mother was going to school to get you on that particular day?
No, sir.
And then when you get there, were you surprised that you saw your mother?
Yes, sir.
Was Christopher Kepner there as well too?
I don't remember if he was in the office at the time, but he was in the car for sure.
And then, so you, the mother, Chantel, escorted you from the office to Christopher Kepner's vehicle?
Yes. Well, it's her vehicle, but yes.
And then, so what happened once you got in the vehicle?
They asked for my phone. They took my phone. I powered it off, and then
So your phone did have a Live 360 or tracking device?
yes.
Does a Live 360 or tracking device work if your phone is turned off?
No, not to my knowledge.
And then, so did you have any need to communicate with your father or anyone else about what was going on at that particular moment?
I was going to try to text my dad, but I couldn't because they had my phone. I couldn't communicate with anybody.
Did you want to go with your mother and Christopher Kepner on that day?
No, sir.
Was that against your will?
Yes, sir.
And then, so what happened once you were in the vehicle and then you started to drive?
I gave them my phone. They powered it off. They told me wherever I was going that I was going to start school over here, which was against everything we've talked about. I told them no, I wasn't. And when we tried to go into a stop, I tried getting out.
When you saw that. So at any time were you trying to harm yourself or commit suicide?
No, sir.
You were just, what was your intention of trying to get out of the vehicle once they came to a stop?
Trying to get out of the vehicle so they couldn't take me away from everything.
And then what did Christopher Kepner do at that point?
They had held me against the seat, and he put his arm around the back of my neck, holding me up against the front seat. She held me there as well.
Was your mother still in the front seat or did she go to the back seat?
At that time, she had crawled to the back seat and started holding me.
And then Christopher Kepner, what exactly did he do with his arm?
He put his arm around my neck, like pushed me up against the front seat.
So was your head pinned against the front seat?
Yes, sir.
And did you remain conscious the whole time or did you black out? Or?
I believe I blacked out once or twice on the way over there.
Wow. Wow. By the way, I need to correct myself again so people know. This is his brother, his older brother, Andrew. This is not Timothy. So he has choked him out before. I just remember holding it together. They treated the family as a criminal. Why are they coddling? Here, hold on a minute. Weird. Hold on. I'll do it a different way. Do it a different way. Hold on, people. See, all my stuff got taken down. I can't believe this. So. Oh, I don't care for that lady. They knew something was off in that home, but they wanted to keep everything quiet. Can't tell me no different. So yeah, there you go. But people are showing this, and it was really disturbing to me. This keeps coming up. And they're saying that this is the last video.
Latest updates say 18-year-old Anna Kepner may have been killed while fighting.
See, that's not Anna. Why are they doing this? This ain't real.
Off an assault from her 16-year-old stepbrother. What happened inside that cruise ship cabin now appears to be the final. Latest updates say 18-year-old.
See, why would they do that? Why? All right. Anyways, there's Timothy. Timothy. There he is. Hello. I think the dad and stepmom were only married. Yep. And it's a mess too. It's a mess. It's all messy. They're messy. I mean, my family's messy too, but not like this. Holy shit. So let's continue with the documents here. All right, furthermore, on March 10th, 12 days after the court transfer order, a federal grand jury in Southern District of Florida issued a superseding indictment charging the defendant with one count of first-degree murder and one count of aggravated sexual abuse. On April 8th, after the hearing, Judge Torres found the proper certifications have been filed with the court. Thus, Torres ordered the transfer to adult prosecution be finalized in the matter and further unsealed the docket. April 10th, 2026, the matter was formally transferred to adult prosecution. Okay. Consequently, consistent with Judge Torres' pronouncement and pursuant of case law, the United States requests the release order be reviewed and revoked. Revoked, people. Moreover, as fully discussed below, page 13, the government also requests a status conference regarding the scheduling of the hearing about this motion to be held. Oh, okay, let's look at the footnotes here. Although the court issued a transfer order on February 26, 2026, the juvenile shall not be transferred to an adult prosecution until the clerk of juvenile courts has certified in writing that the juvenile has no prior record. Therefore, arguably, the date on which a defendant was transferred to adult prosecution is either at the earliest March 10th, when the government filed the certifications on or about April 10th, when the order finalized, the adult transfer was entered. After conferring with defense counsel, it is the government's understanding that the parties believe the evidence presented at the JDA detention hearing was comprehensive. Thus, at this time, neither party believes further testimony will be necessary. The parties agree the defendant should remain under the terms of release order pending the adjudication of this motion. Analysts. The government requests to review revocation of Judge Torres' release order for the matter to be set for a status conference to schedule a hearing regarding the instant motion. As further detailed below, the current release order was issued pursuant to the provisions of the JDA, which no longer applies to this matter. As such, the court should review the release under the provisions of the Bail Reform Act and detain the defendant. Moreover, the JDA is limited, vice versa, or vice, what is that? Vice versa? The considerations a court should make. Hold on. Yes, he is. I'm sorry. I was reading Rhonda's comments. I'm sorry. Moreover, the JDA is limited, vice versa, considerations the court should make in deciding whether to detain accused juveniles and does not provide court with ability to consider bonds in granting releases. Thus, the transfer on this case to adult protection or prosecution, substantial change in the circumstances and a review and revocation of the current release order in light of the Bail Reform Act should be undertaken. God, so this judge here is the problem, okay? Because this judge thinks this kid should be running around. The court has jurisdiction to conduct and review of revocation. To begin, the court has jurisdiction to order and conduct a hearing to assess the appropriateness of pretrial detention under the Bail Reform Act, as more fully explained below. Now that the case is transferred to adult prosecution, preservations of the JDA have ceased to apply, and the Bail Reform Act now controls. As the defendant has never had a hearing pursuant to the Bail Reform Act, court shall review his release now that this matter is in adult prosecution. Oh, where am I? Second, the court has jurisdiction to review and potentially revoke release order. If a person is ordered released by magistrate judge or by a person other than the judge of a court having original jurisdiction over the offense and the other of a federal appellate court, the attorney for the government may file, and the court having original jurisdiction over the offense, a motion of revocation of the order amended, oh my God, of the conditions of release. Just sign it. Just sign it, people. That's what's up. Look who's here. Look who entered the chat. Look at that. Pino, I hope you're well. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. He's staying at his uncle's. Yeah. Yeah, he gets to have all this, good old time. Okay. He's got like 2 attorneys now. Okay. What does Bar Dog have to say? I know that's gross. Gross behavior. Gross. Pino, people are upset because I did a live on you and I'm getting documents about you. Did you know that? I'm just letting you know. Because I talked to the lady in Florida, okay? And you're so naughty that there's so many listen to me. You're so naughty when you're locked up that they didn't want to do the 4 years worth. So I'm doing 2017 reports. But people are like, I need you to explain why you're talking about pedo. I don't have to explain shit. It's my channel. But anyways, I'm going to continue. Thank you for being here. I appreciate every one of you. All right, here we go. Let's go back. All right. The court reviews magistrate's court order. Okay, and it talks about this case law. While the district court is always free to enter its own findings in writing and a written statement of reasons supporting pretrial detention, we hold that this is necessary only where, 1, the district court considers evidence that is not considered by the magistrate. 2, the district court adopts magistrate's recommendations that pretrial detention is necessary, but finds that certain of the magistrate's underlying conclusions of factual findings are incorrect and unsupported by the evidence. Here, given the parameters, it is clear that the court has the jurisdiction to order and conduct the review of the release order. This matter is now in adult prosecution, and the question of the defendant's pretrial detention or release is governed by Bail Reform Act. Moreover, the government is asking the court with original jurisdiction over the offense to review and revoke the release order. Finally, Judge Torres acknowledged that the United States could seek a review of the order release once the matter is transferred to adult status. The government has filed the motion on April 13th. After this matter officially transferred to adult prosecution on April 10th, 2026. Thus, the motion is timely filed. Oh, shoot. There's another footnote I forgot to read. Consequently, the court has jurisdiction to adjudicate this motion. But let's read this. The court has the ability to review the release order under local magistrate. See, Judge Torres is causing problems, you guys. It's Judge Torres. Why doesn't he want to sign it? Just sign it. Get it over with. See, that's what's going on here. However, the government does not believe that the rule is proper vehicle for the instant motion of Rule 4. Prescribes that the process for appeal of release order made by pursuant section Bail Reform Act more fully discussed below. The release order here was made pursuant to section the JDA, not bail reform. Therefore, the government believes section is more appropriate vehicle. All right. The release order shall be reviewed and revoked. The provisions of the JDA no longer apply to this matter. First, the review of the revocation of the release order is appropriate because this matter transferred to an adult prosecution, which means the provisions of the JDA, including section, no longer apply. The defendant's detention or release is now subject to provisions of the Bail Reform Act. As the magistrate court could not apply provisions of the Bail Reform Act, the JDA detention hearing, a review and revocation of its order is needed. The matter, okay, hold on. This matter was subject exclusively to the provisions of the JDA, the only vehicle by which a person under 18 may be charged in federal court. Once proceedings have commenced against a juvenile under the JDA, then section whatever, provides the sole mechanism by which detention of the juvenile may be accomplished. Pre-deposition, magistrate court shall release the juvenile unless the magistrate judge determines after hearing that the juvenile is represented by counsel that the detention of such juvenile is required to secure his timely appearance before an appropriate court. That's why they're hiring all these people. Sorry, guys. That's why they're hiring more attorneys. Look what's going on here. They're trying to get it so they don't revoke him. Something's going on here. At which the juvenile is represented by counsel, the detention of the such juvenile is required to secure his timely appearance before appropriate court to ensure his safety and the safety of others. Here we got a footnote. The JDA does not specifically address the review of magistrate court's release and detention order. Why can't Judge Shores just sign it? What is going on here? This is weird. Okay, the JDA then provides two paths forward. First, should the matter proceed, the district court must decide if the juvenile should be adjudicated delinquent and the acts accused. Alternatively, should the necessary requirements exist, oh boy, this is going to get ugly, guys, provides a process within a juvenile accused of an act, delinquency may be charged and prosecuted as an adult. The accumulation of the process is a district court reviews of the request to transfer the adult status. Either after a hearing or a waiver, or upon showing the juvenile's prior record contains certain adjudicated delinquencies, mandatory transfer. Only after district court review can it order transferring juvenile case to an adult prosecution issue. However, once the juvenile case is transferred to adult status, the JDA is silent as to subsequent events in the adult prosecution of the same juvenile, save the execution of sentence. What? Okay, let's read the footnote here. Post-transfer, the JDA only discusses the incarceration of juveniles. Section whatever affords that juvenile committed, which pursuant to adjudication of delinquency or conviction of an offense, to the custody of the Attorney General, may be placed or retained in an adult jail or correctional institution in which he has regular contact with incarcerated adults. Moreover, section whatever place limits on solitary confinement, incarcerated juveniles, including those prosecuted as an adult. Okay. The reason is clear. Once a juvenile matter is transferred to adult status, their case is now subject to provisions and punishment that apply to nearly any adult defendant facing a criminal indictment in federal court. The Congress has intended something different. The JDA would contain provisions regarding the adult prosecution of juvenile defendants. Okay, let's look at 11. Notwithstanding, here's a notable deviation from the principal. Juveniles, like the defendant, may never have the death penalty imposed on them, even though murder in the first degree is a death eligible. So yeah, his case is not, I did read that, his case is not a death penalty case. Okay. Accordingly, once a defendant matter is transferred to adult prosecution, many other provisions of the JDA no longer apply to him. So just cite it. Okay, let's look at footnote 12. This includes many of the privacy protections under the JDA. With the prosecution of a juvenile as an adult, several of the benefits and safeguards affordable. Okay. For example, to transfer an adult prosecution means that the defendant is subject to adult criminal procedure rules. Okay, it's all federal now, you guys. Okay, let's take a break. I need to take a break. So we're going to go, because nobody's talking to about Anna's mama. I don't care if she didn't have custody. That's still her daughter. Okay? Fire in the chat. Fire in the chat. Where's Misty? Is she here now? I don't know where Misty is. Oh, thank you. I don't do anything to go hurting anybody. I don't. I put out facts, black and white. Nothing to hurt nobody. Nothing to hurt nobody. That's right. Fire in the chat, bitches. All right. We are going to listen. I don't know where Missy is. I have no idea. We're going to listen to what her mama has to say. Let's see. Right here.
My husband did not try to contact me at all whatsoever to let me know that.
What's sad? You can tell there's a lot of dysfunction here, right? She didn't even get to go to her own daughter's funeral. Did you guys know that? This mother did not get to go to her own daughter's funeral. They couldn't suck it up. Look what I did for my daughter's funeral. It was the hardest thing I had to do. Okay, is suck it up and be around her dad, right? But I thought about it this way. You know, that was his daughter. I felt bad for him, even though the hell they're putting me through. Okay, him and his girlfriend. Okay. Did she get in? Did she? Is she going to talk about that here? So sad. Let's listen. Okay.
My daughter died. I found out because I live in Oklahoma, and my youngest son goes to school with a good friend of mine's nephew, and he told her nephew that his sister was murdered on a cruise ship. So I got a text message saying, "Hey, is Anna on a cruise? And you need to find out right away and call me." And I was like, "Do what?" So I called Anna's cell phone. She didn't answer. So then I got a hold of her on TikTok. Well, tried to get a hold of her on TikTok. She still didn't answer. So I started questioning, why is she asking me about that? So I got on my ex-husband's Facebook, where there was nothing on there. So I got on to Cabby, his second wife's Facebook, as the woman that raised my daughter. And there I seen a picture of her car with flowers on it, and Cabby saying they were going to leave it at the high school for a short time as a memorial for Anna. And so that's when I Googled 18-year-old dies on cruise ship is what I put in the search bar. And that's when my daughter's face popped up all over Google.
I cannot even imagine. Yeah, I just, honest to God, I cannot even imagine finding out about your daughter's death by Googling and not getting a call. And to make matters worse, there was a celebration of life. I'm not sure if it was a full-fledged funeral, but there was some kind of memorial held yesterday. And I'm told that you were banned, that yeah, that your ex-husband banned you from going. Can you walk me through what happened and what the
You know what?
circumstances were?
Death is so icky because, as you people know, what I went through. I'm putting my 2 cents in because my life was ugly too with things. Everybody has something. But look at, I got threatened that if I came, anyways, I was going to be harmed. Okay. I mean, come on, people get weird. It get ugly, people. It gets ugly.
He told me that when I told him I was coming down there, he said that that he knew for a fact that Anna would not want me there. And I said, that's a lie. I was like, but whatever. And he goes, if you step foot in Florida, I will have you arrested immediately for back child support.
And so
Oh, but you're doing nothing you did nothing to protect your child, dude.
you went
I went.
anyway, right?
Yeah.
In disguise?
Of course. Yeah, I wore a wig and I wore some really tall high heels, so that way, if he was looking for somebody short, he wouldn't see me.
And were you able to attend the funeral? Did anyone see you or spot you? Like, tell me what happened next when you got there.
Nobody spotted me. I kind of stayed in the back, close to the door, so if I needed to make a quick getaway, I could. It was really nice. They had a lot of pictures of my daughter. I didn't see her dad, but then again, I wasn't trying to either. I stayed for a little bit, but I didn't stay for the whole thing. My anxiety got too high, and I had to go.
And what? Tell me a little bit about the funeral. What was said about Anna at the funeral?
They just talked about how she was a great kid and she did really well in school. She wanted to join the military. She had a boating license before she was able to get her driver's license.
Do you know anything about the suspect in this case? And I say suspect not because police have said it. It's the 16-year-old stepbrother. Do you know anything about the stepbrother and the dynamic between Anna and him?
No, because I didn't even know that Tabitha and Christopher had gotten a divorce. I didn't even know he remarried. Like I said, Christopher and I do not talk whatsoever. And he made it extremely difficult for me to even have a relationship with my daughter. And the last time I seen my daughter, he again made me look like a piece of shit. So when I was getting on the airplane, I flipped him off and called him a few choice words I probably shouldn't have. And he told my daughter that I was telling her that. I was talking to her. So at that point, Anna kind of stopped talking to me. So I'd call her on her birthday and holiday. That's about it.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our News Nation.
We went to the Swanee River when she was, I think, almost three. And she went horseback riding for the first time. And the guy that was walking the horse said that she was acting as if a pro was riding the horse. Like she'd been out doing it her whole life. And it was the very first time she'd ever sat on a horse.
She must have had a bunch of confidence.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she did. But yeah, she was a really good child. I mean, she never really complained about much. She never cried that much as a baby. And as a teenager, she was the same. She was just always happy anytime I'd see her and talk to her.
These pictures, I know these pictures. I've been looking at them for quite a bit of time now. I'm sure you've been kind of diving into these, kind of remembering when some of these.
Look at how different she looks with blonde hair. Did you guys see that before? I haven't. I've just seen her with dark hair.
Cool. You're taken and everything.
Yeah.
I
have a lot.
Any of these photos kind of stand out to you, make you remember specific moments or anything like that?
Well, all of them do actually, but let me see, the one with her, I believe, holding it's a baby. It's actually her youngest brother. Youngest brother is my youngest son. that weekend, that was the first time she got to see him after I had him, and she didn't want to put him down. She wanted to hold him the whole time she was there.
What an incredible big sister. You know, everyone looks up to your big sister, knowing she was that way
Yeah.
from such a young age.
Yeah.
These last couple weeks, have you been holding up okay? I know you've been at church. I'm sure we're leaning on faith, and the fellowship there has been super helpful for you.
Yeah, they have been. I'm trying to hold it together.
I can only imagine what you're dealing with. I know church is a big deal for everybody. It's like an extended family. So having them with you has to be a great shoulder to lean on.
Yeah, it is.
Is there anything, I don't want to take you up too much of your time tonight, but is there anything you think
I'm
we're
not busy for the rest of the night.
anything you think we're skipping over? I really just wanted to kind of highlight Anna and focus on some of your memories and how you've been holding up.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm holding up, I guess, as best as you can. Try not to fall apart. But yeah, no, she was just a great child. She was always happy. She loved. We had her in dance and cheerleading. Well, not cheerleading, but gymnastics and dance. And she was, I think, 3. It was when we first put her in that, and she's just loved it ever since. Then she became a cheerleader in high school. And I think she did dance class in high school too, but I'm not positive on that one.
Okay. The thing that stands out to me on these photos is just, I think every single one that I've clicked through, she's got this massive smile on her face. Was she always trying to make people laugh and everything like that?
Yeah, she was. She didn't like it if people were upset. She kind of like takes after me on that one. But yeah, she was always trying to make everybody smile. She was always happy. An extremely happy child. I don't think she was ever really upset or depressed anytime I'd seen her.
She found the joy in everything.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah, she did. Well, even when she'd make her post, if her boyfriend would break up or whatever, she still had to look at it. She always looked at it as the bright side, on the brighter side of it.
So she probably found the good in everybody and everything.
Yeah, she did.
Interesting. That poor mother. Hold up. All right, where are we going? Additionally, if found guilty of the crimes of which is charged, the defendant will be a convicted felon, not adjudicated juvenile delinquent. Let's look at footnote number 14. All right, so it talks about case law. Prosecution results in an adjudicated status, not a criminal conviction. Okay, whatever, I don't understand. But moreover, the court could also sentence the defendant to the same terms of imprisonment as an adult, and he would not be entitled to release at the age of 21. No, he shouldn't be. Let's look at footnote 15. Okay, it talks about case law. Finding a 60-year sentence for a defendant charged initially under the JDA and later transferred to an adult prosecution for homicide related to a RICO offense. And it talks about the 8th Amendment. Okay. All right. These charges are not inconsistent with the fact that defendant is also afforded the same rights as adults charged in federal court, such as preservations outlined in Speedy Trial Act and the right to be charged by indictment, amongst others. Let's look at case law footnote number 16, and that says see page 4 of what? I don't know. Here, the defendant was initially accused via information of acts of delinquency. However, the court ordered that this matter transfer to adult prosecution, and the defendant has been indicted by a federal grand jury. That's interesting. Thus, now procedure set forth in the JDA no longer applies. Consequently, the provisions of the JDA regarding defendant's release. Cease to apply. Lock up that kid. Get him. As the defendant is now subject to adult prosecution, the Bail Reform Act now controls. Judge Torres, see, I knew he was going to come up. Consequently, the provisions of a GDA no longer apply to the defendant's release. In his post-transfer detention or release are subject to provisions of the Bail Reform Act. What is the Bail Reform Act, you guys? That I don't know. In Florida. And when reviewed under the lens of the Bail Reform Act, it is clear review. Revocation of the release order is needed. What's going on with Torres? Why won't he release? What's going on here? First, a review is appropriate because the issue of detention should be considered under the Bail Reform Act's clear and more complete guidelines. The JDA gave the magistrate court slight guidance on the factors to be considered for release, and little case law exists on that subject. A fact acknowledged by the magistrate court and the parties at the GDA detention hearings. Accordingly, Magistrate Torres considered only scant criteria set forth in plain language of Section 5034 in deciding on detention, particularly whether the defendant would be a danger to himself or others. Okay, let's go to footnote number 18 here. I missed 17. Okay, we're going to do 17 and 18. Neither party was able to order a transcript of the JDA detention hearing before the filing of this motion. However, the government's notes from the hearing reflect Magistrate Torres stated that the government could ask for reconsideration of the release order once the case was transferred to adult because that would be the turning point of the case, merited review. The government has ordered a transcript of the hearing, expedited basis, which will be filed under seal. Oh, of course, with the court. And it will be more accurately filed or reflect Judge Torres' exact remarks. Okay, footnote number 18. Torres also seemed to consider Section 5035 and deciding against pretrial detention. However, at the JDA detention hearing, the government objected to his consideration, solely addressed the responsibilities of the Attorney General, not the magistrate court. Once detention has been ordered, the government and the United States Marshal Service has already coordinated pre-hearing with the Florida Department of Juvenile Justice to provide a facility that comported with all requirements set forth in Section 5035 should detention have been ordered. Oh, shit. Hold on, sorry. Okay. But no, that the JDA no longer applies post-transfer, a review of the defendant's release should be conducted under the Bail Reform Act. This includes in consideration of all factors set forth in determining whether pre-child detention is appropriate. And when viewed through section factors, the evidence presented in the JDA detention hearing lies bare. There is clear and convincing evidence that the defendant is a danger to others under the standards set forth on the Bail Reform Act. The evidence demonstrated that the offense conduct the defendant engaged in involved the most serious, I don't know that word, you guys. I don't know how to say it. Crimes one person can inflict on another. He committed these crimes against the victim, whom he had no parent relation strife. What does that mean? What does that mean, you guys? Anybody? And whom he was being raised to view as a sibling. Furthermore, he carried out these crimes without any warning. He could commit such atrocious acts, and despite the parent-supported family environment, finally, the defendant currently lives in a home where minor children reside. Oh my God. Consequently, there's no assurance of any court could ever have that any conditions or combination of conditions would prevent the defendant from being a danger to others. The defendant should be detained. All right. Nevertheless, the court ultimately disagrees with the government regarding pretrial detention. Applying provisions of the Bail Reform Act provide the court with the benefit of considering other forms or manners of release, namely personal, recognize, whatever. I don't know why they say that. Bonds and secured and unsecured appearance bonds. After the JDA detention hearing, magistrate court issued a release order without any kind of bond. However, this decision was mostly due to the section, and they talk about 5034, limited wording. They better fix that. As the government itself stated, the JDA detention hearing, the plain language of 5034 simply did not provide authority for the parties to request nor for the magistrate court to impose some kind of bond in lieu of detention. Let's look at footnote 19, United States versus Fisher. If the statute of meaning is plain, oh God, what a word, ambiguous, there is no need for further inquiry. The plain language is presumed to express congressional intent and will control courts' interpretations, citing, and it don't continue. Okay. Thus, the magistrate court simply does not have an option of considering bonds under the JDA. Okay, you guys, what are you getting from this? I need to take a break. We're almost done. It sounds like they're having a problem with that one judge. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. I know judge or anything, but I don't know if this judge is up to. But if the kid can take somebody's life like that, right, and so gross, and do other gross things, and his DNA be in places that it should be, right? Ain't right. He should be running around free. Sick. I think Judge Torres, unless it's a legal thing where they have to do it a certain way, I don't know. Something's going on. Yeah, right? There's something going on here. It'll come out. Just like all this stuff is coming out now. All right, let's continue. Fire in the chat. Fire in the chat. All right. However, now the provisions of the Bail Reform Act, bonds are now available for the court's consideration, and the court should consider them for two reasons. First, in light of the factors outlined in 3142, the court could deny or decide a bond with conditions would better address the concerns and circumstances involved in releasing the defendant. Second, given the substantial change in circumstances, that's right, resulting from adult transfer, the court should consider whether some type of bond should be fashioned to better address new risks and consequences inherent to the defendant's adult prosecution that did not exist when the case was in juvenile status. As previously discussed, the defendant's exposure to punishment has changed substantially. In addition, he now faces a very real probability he could be convicted. What do you mean? He is anyways. It doesn't matter if he's in juvenile or not. I guess I don't understand. For these additional reasons, the court should review the release order. Okay, we got footnote 20. Let's go down here. The instant release order was issued when the defendant, I got a cough. Hold on. Holy crap. What is going on, people? Oh, my throat. Okay. Was issued when the defendant faced vastly different consequences than he faces now, ones that could incentivize decisions by the defendant that were not at play when the release order was issued. We need to look at that, people. Under the release order, there's a little recourse should the defendant or custodial family member now fail to comply with the conditions of the order because the defendant was not released under bond. Any violation of conditions of the release order would fail to result in consequences on par with such violation, the revocation of bond, forfeit of monies. Instead, the defendant and his family members would be subject to contempt of court proceedings, a potentially punitive and more protracted process for violating a court's order than the revocation of bond and forfeit of monies. Okay. The government request. The government therefore respectfully requests the court order and conduct a review and revocation of the release order under provisions of the Bail Reform Act. The government further requests the court set a matter for a status conference. Regarding this motion, the status conference is necessary for the government to coordinate the attendance of the case agents and for the defendant to coordinate his travel to Southern District of Florida with his attorneys, custodial family, and any subsequent hearing on this motion. Let's go to 21, footnote 21. Since a federal grand jury issued the superseding indictment in this matter recently, the defendant also needs to be arraigned. Oh, look at that. Okay. In accordance with Local Rule 88.9, the government conferred with the opposing counsel about the motion. Assistant public defenders. Now, oh my God, look at them all. So he's got 4 attorneys. He's got 3 public defenders, and he's got a new lady. Now, stated their position as follows. If the court is inclined to grant the government's request for a status conference, counsel for minor Timothy request that this matter be referred to Judge Torres to conduct a consolidated arraignment and status conference, and then to schedule a hearing to determine if Timothy should be on release with the appropriate conditions or be detained pending resolution of an instant case. Torres presided over the initial bond hearing here and set the current conditions of release. He is familiar with the facts supporting the government's request for detention. Wow. The parties therefore anticipate that little, if any, additional evidence will need to be presented at the hearing. The parties agreed that Timothy should remain at liberty pending Torres' decision concerning the release. Wow. The government respectfully requests the court grant the instant motion and set a status conference. Wow. Okay, guys. And he's got a new attorney, and she's not a public defender. Oh, God. Where is she? I should have. What's her name? Oh, God. Don't come up. Hold on. I'm going to look. Okay, here she is. The new attorney is, hold on. And she's not a public defender. Why are all these people? I don't know. Here she is. Abigail Emily Becker. Okay? Who's she with? She's a federal public defender. Okay, she was been an attorney since 2009. Okay. We'll see what she looks like and we'll show you. Here she is. Here she is, right there. Oops. Oh, my stomach. I believe he'll get 60 years. Wouldn't that be crazy? I bet you that's what they would have done. He did this crime at 16 and they would have let him out at 21. Why isn't anybody seeming to care about Anna? They're more worried about the 16-year-old. I think it's weird. But Daily Mail, they're getting a lot of like information. Okay, exclusive. And this was April 14th. Dad of murdered teen Anna says accused stepbrother 16 is a danger and has shown no remorse after court allows him to stay with relative before trial. Okay. So that's what Christopher has said. He says the boy has yet to apologize or show any sign of remorse. That's scary. That's scary. I mean, look at him. I'm just saying, you can tell something's off. We're upset he's still out. We're 6 months in, and he should have already been arrested. What? He's been arrested, hasn't he? He's already been arrested. Why are they saying that? I don't know. He already should have been arrested, and yet he's free to do whatever he wants. That's our problem. He's been able to do whatever he wants and go wherever he wants, but the family's been sitting here unable to do anything. I want to see him in an orange jumpsuit and handcuffs. He does not need to be free. He does not need to be in the general public or around any kids or women in general. He is a danger to himself and a danger to others. Okay, he said, Christopher, which is Anna's dad, said to his wife, Chantel, which is Timothy's mom, have not spoken to the boy since December when he was placed in the care of paternal uncle. He's still saying he can't remember, and that's about it. He hasn't apologized. He hasn't shown any remorse. Okay, let's see. All right, guys, that's it. Well, I was seeing if the dad said any more. How sad. Jesse was crying. What? Yeah, probably because that's what his mom told him. I don't know. Well. Whew. I think that's it, guys. What do you think? What do you think? Jesse Weber and Long Crime. Oh, yeah, okay. I can't think of anything else to talk about. I mean, so the pretty much thing is superseding indictment from the grand jury and them wanting to revoke his what he's on now. They want to arrest him and take him in, lock him up. That's about it. Oh, sorry. Woo! All right, everybody. I'm going to go. I'm going to go for now. Maybe I'll be back later. Maybe I won't. Maybe Misty or Patty or Amber will come on the panel to make things more interesting. Fire in the chat. Like he sure does. I'm going to try. I'm going to try. Thank you, Bird Dog. Okay, good. I'm trying to get my shit together, people. I am. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. Thank you for being here. Goodbye.